Miami in March boasts beautiful warm weather and great sailing conditions. No surprise then that in its 6-year history, the Bacardi Miami Sailing Week presented by EFG Bank has gone from strength to strength. It's helped, of course, by its headline event, the famous Bacardi Cup for the Star Class. What started 88 years ago with just 10 boats competing in Cuba, it's become one of the highlights of the sailing calendar. And this year, it's attracted a strong 54-boat fleet from all over the world. There were 6 days of racing to be had before this year's champions would be crowned. And with a strong lineup in Miami, including last year's winner Lars Grail, the scene was set for some seriously tactical, competitive sailing.
We managed to win last year, 2014, and was runner-up in 2013, but it's not easy to repeat. So we know we have a lot of people trying to do their best, so we are just one of them.
The fleet had to endure all kinds of conditions during the first 3 days of racing. The flat, calm conditions on the opening day suited American Larry Whipple with crew Austin Sperry. They took the bullet on that day. However, as the wind picked up, their performances went down and the Brazilians took over. It was the new partnership of Zarif and Prada who rose to the top of the leaderboard. Both world-class Finn sailors, they took victory on the second day, whilst the third day belonged to fellow Brazilians, the 5-time Olympic medalist Torben Grail with his crew Guilherme de Almeida. 3 days and 3 different winners surely highlights the competitive nature of the Bacardi Cup. There's no margin of error for these crews with such a world-class field.
It's a typical Star Class regatta where, in a typical Bacardi Cup, the Bacardi Cup is a very difficult regatta to win. I think a lot of people respect it, and it's really, after the World Championship, it's got to be one of the most prestigious events, and I think that's why you see a lot of the great guys coming back.
But as many of the great guys keep coming back, there are many fresh faces with new classes in Miami each year. Over the last decade, sailing technology has evolved fast with the emphasis on speed. Miami Sailing Week includes new exciting classes such as the M32s, but it's the more traditional Star Class, the old Olympic keelboat class, that will race for the week's main event, the Bacardi Cup.
Today with foiling America's Cup and 49ers and, you know, the foiling Moss, there's a lot of excitement in sailing, and it's a great, it's a lot of fun, but there's still a lot of fun in the Star boat, a boat that's very tactical. You still have some technical aspects of the boat with tuning the rig, so the boat speed is subtle differences, but there's some work to be done. I've always had fun. I kind of was grown up in the boat, so it's kind of second nature to me.
Well, however serious the sailing is out on the water, there's also plenty of emphasis on having fun. At the Bacardi Miami Sailing Week, there's a full schedule of social events.
Bacardi Sailing Week has been known for, you know, high quality sailing for many years. Back a number of years ago, Tito Bacardi used to come and host the party himself, and it was just a real special sort of high-level sailing with a lot of fun in the evening activities, and that is something that's contagious, and you'll see top sailors from all over the world coming. When you come to Miami for the Bacardi Regatta, you know it's going to be a good regatta and it's going to be a good week of sailing.
One of the aspects that differentiates the Bacardi Sailing Week from other international regattas is the cultural tie-in. Like the special art exhibition Sailing Dreams by Vicky Da Silva that was set up in Coco Walk. Projects like this offer a different perspective on sailing and what it represents through the eyes of the world's best artists and photographers. Also, a huge part of the week is the money that it raises for various local charities.
Sailing is a team sport, and at Bacardi Miami Sailing Week, we don't want to only organize a regatta for the competitors, but we also want to give back to the community. We have been doing this for 3 years. Miami Sailing Week has 6. It took us a little bit of time to get everything set up, but it's growing every year. This year we were able to raise over $10,000 for the 3 charities.
The 3 charities are Team Paradise, Sailing Heels and Shake a Leg Miami. They use the marine environment to improve the health, education and independence of people with disabilities. This year they were linked with the VX1 fleet, a one-designed sports boat for 2 or 3 sailors. "22 boats took to Biscayne Bay, and with crews struggling for consistent performances, the points were spread, with Philip Norris aboard Flash Rider the early leaders.
We've been doing pretty well today. Competition in the class is definitely very good, getting better every year. It almost seems like every regatta the competition gets better. You know, we had a good day today, but we have to keep that going for the next couple of days. Hopefully with the same wind we had today, it was great. So yeah, it's just keeping it up, keeping focused, and keep the results coming.
Norris and his crew looked to be the favourites heading into the final day, but some outstanding sailing from the crew on board VX1 saw them snatch the victory. 2 wins on the final day gave them the win over Norris and his crew, despite ending the regatta on tied points. Philip Hallowell and his crew on board Chuck Wagon finished 3rd. A record number of boats were entered in the Viper 640 class, with 43 entries, 11 of them in the Corinthian division. Teams this year were also competing for the EFG Pan American Championship. The list included the winners and runners-up from 12 months ago. Canadian Brad Boston with Team Jackpot looking to reverse the placings with the defending champions and home favourites from the United States, Philip Lotz and his crew.
Yeah, we won this year, last year, and our focus this year is to really place the top 5. We've got a little personnel change on the boat, and so we're working a new person in, and looking forward to just sort of having a good regatta, and we're not going to stress it out too much. Again, it's a very good fleet, so if we're top 5, we'd be ecstatic.
Well, Lotz and his new crew managed to end the regatta within their target. They finished in 5th place, whilst Canadian Brad Boston on Jackpot almost threw away their lead, but a bullet in the very final race of the week saw them regain top spot and take victory over Peter Beardley on Ghost Panda and Jeffrey Ewanson on Terminally Pretty. The J70s saw a 3-way battle between nations. The Mexican boat of Fajito y Cooperando, the Italian team on Calvi Network, and the Brazilians on Bruschetta all held the lead over the opening 3 days. However, it was the Brazilians at the end that managed to maintain consistency throughout the week. They rose to the top of the leaderboard. The Mexicans finished just 2 points behind them in 2nd, with the Italians in 3rd. One of the most popular fleets, though, was on the eastern course, where the M32s were racing. The Danish boat Trifork and American team US1 had an intense battle at the front of the fleet for the first 2 days. But the experienced Extreme Sailing Series skipper Rasmus Kostner on Trifork didn't show up for the deciding few days. It left the path clear for the former world match racing champion Taylor Canfield to take the victory. His consistent sailing without actually recording a win all week gave them the victory, with Mikel Diminue in second and Ronno Hanley's escape velocity in third. The headline class of the week was the famous Bacardi Cup for the Star class. In its 88th year, it's one of the most sought-after prizes in dinghy racing. Lars Grael, with 2 Olympic medals, was experienced enough to know how to defend that advantage in the final race. They gained a massive lead to secure a second consecutive Bacardi Cup title. It was a successful week for the Brazilians, who filled 4 of the top 6 places in the class.
Me and Samuel, we are very proud to win the Bacardi Cup for the second time in a row. I think it's not too many times on the history of the Bacardi Cup with 88 years that someone wins twice in a row. So it's a very good feeling. It was an excellent week, high-level competition, 57 boats, and we had a very good Brazilian fleet.
After a hard week out on the water, it was celebration time at the prize-giving dinner in the Bacardi village. The winning crews collected their awards and everyone shared their stories from what has been a hugely successful week. Perfect conditions, competitive racing and warm hospitality. Winners or not, I'm sure everyone will be back in 12 months' time to race what is fast becoming an unmissable event, the Bacardi Miami Sailing.